everybody. Clearing. Ooh, very blue day. Kyanite. Okay, so today's going to be a bit of a freestyle reading. I am really getting just to start asking some questions and bring through some answers. So first thing is, what do the Divine Feminines need to know emotionally, specifically, is what I got on the pre-shuffle. So what is it, Divine Creator, that the Divine Feminines are meant to know emotionally? Heartache and Nine of Cups. I'm just hearing, Divine Feminines, genuinely desire to end your heartache, to really solve the ways of looking at things that bring freedom from heartache. Yes, suffering. We've got the, oh, look at that. Okay, so the Ace of Swords in the reverse is confusion, it's lies, it's not knowing the truth. And then behind that is the Empress. So it's, you know, you're selling yourself short if you don't solve these things in your own capacity. If you're on the twin flame journey, you've got this. You can do this. And it is the truth that sets you free. You are the Empress. You're coming into mastery. Know that about yourself. Understand that it is within your grasp to comprehend valid reasons why you don't have to be in waiting. You don't have to be in heartache. You don't have to be in suffering. And that's the key word there. These lessons, these heart openings, these compassionate experiences that help you release attachment and come into your Empress energy, that is not being jaded and saying, screw the world, and I don't believe in love, I'm just gonna do me. That is the opposite. That is resistance. That's, you know, not cool. It hurts to be in that energy. This is cracking us all open to come into, I want what is for me, what feels right, what is affirming. I don't want to be not chosen by a partner. I want to be loved. I want it to feel good. I want to know how to know when that's legit. And I don't want anything that's not for me, that's not meeting me in that energy, because I love myself so much. So Divine Feminines, really pull back your energy and get realistic that if something isn't meeting you, sometimes there is a way. Sometimes it is about communication and the person is genuinely struggling. But if they want your help, if they're ready for that, they're going to say, I have trouble expressing my emotions and I do want something with you, and can we talk about it so that we can get through this together? If that person isn't at a place to advocate for themselves and your connection like that, they're not a match if you're wanting more. And so don't try and make that square peg fit in a round hole. Don't try and change someone. There are many reasons why things aren't compatible for a time or forever. But unconditional love says, if and when you want to come back, I'm going to leave the door open and we can connect at that place. But for now, it's really about getting real with your own emotions and saying no. Just say no to suffering, Divine Feminines. That is not a requirement of love. I'm going to get some advice for the Divine Feminines that might have needed that message. Oh, this card from another deck, free yourself from your mind. So this is saying the thoughts you're telling yourself about the situation are what's causing pain. Things like, the love was never there, it was a trick, they didn't love me, they were a player, they lied, they whatever. You put yourself into certain situations so that you could learn, Divine Feminines. You have manifested everything that's come into your life, and it's about you seeing the patterns, you seeing the growth, you seeing the beliefs that put you into alignment with certain things and taking responsibility for them. Being kind to yourself and other. It's a learning process. All of humanity is going through this right now, and so you're not being singled out. It's not just happening to you. We are rewriting collective paradigms, trauma paradigms, survival templates, convenience templates, objectification templates, Jezebel templates, consumer templates, patriarchal templates, toxicity templates, desperation templates. All of it is being rewritten. It is not just you. Be a champion of the light, divine feminines. Really take your thoughts captive and solve this. See how you are a product of your society. See how you are a product of your imprinting. See how you have only emulated what you were shown, and that this is a good day because you can choose with your free will to step up and out of that. We are right at the edge of reclaiming relationship templates for light and love. Unrequited love is the periphery of the abuse templates, the vast discrepancy, the incompatibility templates that cause so much extreme frustration and hopelessness and helplessness and all of that. So take those thoughts captive and really begin to see what would work for you, what you have done to collaborate and not advocate. You know, you don't have free will over someone else, but you can decide what you're emotionally attached to and decide if it's worth being attached and suffering over. Energy is energy, and if it's not compatible, that is one of the most grounding thoughts we can have. If we can literally witness somebody else as not being in compatible energy instead of demonizing the person or bullying ourselves over worthiness or not, we can then begin to see energy for what it is and decide, is there another way to navigate with this person, or is it simply not compatible? Just because there is love and attraction does not mean that it is a connection that needs to be forced into being in a certain way. There are so many options, and if you've learned something blessed from one connection, you will never unlearn that, and you will include that in your next manifested connection. So divine feminines, take what you know and stay open. Stay open to things evolving within connections. Stay open to things coming in new and starting from where you're at now. Be in the present moment, be open for what is there, but don't be in attachment and suffering. Tell yourself other thoughts so that you do not need to be in that pain. Pain can be addictive because it feels like we're controlling something. Be very careful with that. We can get overwhelmed by the pain, addicted to the pain. There are cycles of things. There's a payoff to that. It's a predictable comfort, a discomfort, a predictable comforting discomfort. So a lot of divine feminines watching this, you are ready to let go and be brave that you won't be alone if you let go of the best option that you've seen so far and all of that. If you let go of that, your energy clears and you can have a better feeling experience with that person at very least, or with somebody else too at very least. What frequency card can we see for the feminines? Chakra Kabbalah, spiritual path, life lessons, and karma. So we have been powerfully transmuting the karma on the planet by living these things firsthand and deciding whether we want to keep subscribing to them or not, or if we can see some more light coming in. And that happens with every single thought, divine feminines. So take each thought that you have captive and really see, is there a better feeling way, a more truthful, freeing way to look at this? Do I need to keep telling myself the things that cause pain? No. Okay, simultaneity, nonlinear processing epiphanies. So that means the divine masculines are processing this on their side of the energy, equal and opposite the masculine polarity way at the same time. So don't think you're going it alone. When you're in this solitude and solo part of your journey, it energetically works with the counterpart. So as we transmute karma, I was just shown recently another incredible visual for the dynamic again. You know, there is an energetic pulley system. I've been shown this one where the twins are sharpening themselves, clarifying, working their karma. And as they do that independently, there is this energetic pulley system that brings the twins into alignment, the mirror there, and coming in closer and closer. You never fully lose yourself into your twin, but you get there by focusing on self, healing, karma, all of that mission, and it just energetically brings you in. We know that the divine feminines have some challenges and curiosities around letting go. Divine masculines have the same sorts of things around coming forward. Just recently I was shown a vision, because we know that when the feminines let go, the masculines let go of karma. And when the masculines let go of karma, the feminine relaxes and trusts the connection more. So it's tethered there. We can also see that the masculines don't come forward if the feminines have karma. And so if the feminines let go of karma, the masculines come forward. If the masculines come forward, the feminines let go of karma. There's wiggle room here, but it's bit by bit, and it's tethered that way, and it's like a ladder, an incy-wincy spider. So as we let go of karma, it brings peace and forward motion in the connection, and it's a tandem effort, but it's never too far out of sync because you are entangled quantumly. It's a vibration. So think of it that way, and do what you can to have the peace, feminines, and the release of your own lower vibrational karmas, or stepping into mission, teaching others how to do it. Just because you've let go of karma to a significant degree doesn't mean that same karmic expertise cannot be further explored as an abundant outpouring of influence and assistance into the world. So it doesn't stop with clearing the karma. It also qualifies you as a specialist, and that does take it to the next level. The masculines and the feminines, just doing the healing and clearing the karma in and of itself doesn't bring you into union. It is also this assistance into the world that takes it to a new level. So keep going with transmuting the pain. You are one thought away, boom, one truthful thought away from being in full Empress. In this moment, let go of the pain by figuring out if you have any pain or any confusion, feminines. In this moment, you are only one thought away from your Empress self. At all times, I'm hearing. How beautiful. Okay, we got a couple more here. Divinity, honor, responsibility, and humility. So don't be up in ego. And, ego can look like, I'm so special, I'm going to be alone forever, I'm never going to find another one of me. That can be a little bit egocentric, can't it? So it can be a flip side. It doesn't have to be just, I'm the best, look at me, I can do what I want. That's not the only interpretation of ego. So come into balance and humility, and just know you are right where you're supposed to be because of the work you've done, because of the places that you are going. Be grateful for it all. Be ready for the next part, and keep going with humble honor. And it is because of your divinity, your God self, your soul, that you find yourself in a reading like this. Mastery, accountability, and acceptance, angelic assistance, and truth. You are working interdimensionally now. And I heard Jedi level. Mastery is Jedi level. And isn't that the way when we're clearing collective karma, transmuting paradigms? Jedi, divine feminines. Okay, let's get into a divine masculine reading here. What are the divine masculines wanting, thinking, feeling? We got the wish card for the masculines, and we just had that for the feminines, but it went back in the deck. Let's see though. What can we know about how are the divine masculines thinking about their feminine at this time? What are they feeling on the heart space? What are they wishing for the connection? What action are they taking? I'm being told to pull a third card to see what kind of happens next based on what the masculines are putting out there energetically or otherwise. Maybe we'll see some action. Where is this thing going? Okay, on the conscious mind, masculines. Oh, I'm being told to pull a message as we start here. So what would the divine masculines say to the feminines? I want you to be my wife. So whatever that means for you resonates. That is the perfect partner I'm hearing. So what on any level that you want to take that, traditional marriage, commitment, a sacred matrimony, the divine masculine that you are journeying with in their heart of hearts wants to have that much of a union with you, that you are their one. Okay, what is the conscious mind? 8 of crystals and a judgment. So basically it's nose to the grindstone. Divine masculines are specializing, if you want to master, teach. So they are taking things to the next level. There's a crop circle in this, so there could be some otherworldly innovations coming in, wild cards, different kinds of insights. I'm hearing Pleiadian influence here. But divine masculines are presenting to the world a new higher consciousness. I'm actually getting divine masculines, good job, because your thoughts are starting to make people like get whiplash. They're catching such fast attention right now. It feels like you're coming out with practical wording for higher consciousness and new ways of looking at things that make such beautiful sense to people that they've never heard it put that way before. They've never thought of it that way, and it's catching their attention and it's changing lives. So you might not see this about yourself, divine masculine, divine feminine. You might not see this about your masculine, but because of this journey, the influence of your love, the standards that have come here, the amount of compassion and love that's been seen has brought your divine counterpart into being able to show the world a way of looking at things that is rare, that is transcendent, that is love-filled. And as they do this, this is only the 8 of coins in the 10. And so there is a little bit more to be seen. There's more inner workings. There's more evidence in their own life with their own success stories, releasing of karma. Judgment is a card of karma. And so some of these things are going to be aha moments that were inspired by your connection and the love growing in them that further allows them to let go of karma because of the things that come out of their mouth I just heard. Where is this going in the connection? Unconditional love. Exactly. It is what it is. It's becoming cooler. It's getting deeper. It's becoming more conscious. It's expanding. And so, yeah, there is just more cause for you to let go and trust and to actually see the divinity, see the soul stuff coming through in your connection, through the lives of the masculines, through the blessing into the world. This is incredibly practical, advanced, love-filled, inspired influence in the world. And the masculines are still reveling in it, I just heard, understanding it more fully, seeing it for what it is, and witnessing it in their own right. And it's a beautiful thing indeed. What are the divine masculines feeling on the heart space for their divine feminine? They know the love. They know that things didn't go the way that they would have wanted it if they knew what they know now then. They know there were opportunities, or an opportunity missed, a major one where they could have chosen to fully commit, but their hearts told them no. Their gut instinct said it wasn't time. But they do feel the love. They feel it more than they've ever felt it before. They know you're the one. This is a marriage card for me. And we got that already, that they want you to be their wife. Take gender how it resonates. But that show of affection, they know that they have, had lots of experiences and they have not found anything that compares. So there is some new thinking here. The snake on this card talks about the Kundalini and the alignment. It's kind of willy-nilly here, so the Divine Masculines still have to bring some of their actions, thoughts, emotions into alignment, but they know there is destiny involved in this connection. They know there is loyalty. They know this is part of their path. They just haven't quite figured out what it is for them, how to reconcile some of the things that they have grown up believing were a priority. These twin connections do open the mind and force new paradigm shifts because the love is so evident, and yet in many ways the love contradicts some of the long, deeply held beliefs and preferences that the masculines believe are gospel regarding the matters of the heart. And so, or, even if it's not a sticky belief, it represents overcoming any obstacle and then living in an incredibly extraordinary existence. They're realizing that it's their own fear of success that is bringing them into rightness, correctedness here, that is correcting them, because they know anything would be possible with a love like this. And so their beliefs are being shown. Changing lives, changing worlds, changing paradigms, the paradigm shift. What are they wishing for? Oh yes, so mission is arising here. They don't know what their purpose is, what their soul purpose is quite yet on the next level. They're waiting to be shown that. They know the old foundations need to fall. They know that they are on track for something that the world hasn't seen yet, and they're waiting for that instruction. They're feeling the grandeur, they're feeling the potentials, they're feeling the pressure of becoming. They know that they have the capacity to do something big. Divine Masculines in this energy, just understand that that is the calling on your heart, and it unpacks in flow if you just say yes to it. So some of the resistance in this might just be not knowing what to say yes to. Divine Masculines, just say yes to becoming your full potential, living an extraordinary life, and say, show me the way. To the universe, to source, just say, show me the way. And they have, or they would not have been on this journey. Yes, exactly. So when the masculines understand what this mission, what these next steps are, things get rolling. It's all poised and set here, but there is a masculine, feminine, yin yang here. And so that is kind of the missing piece, is that twin flames are destined to come into union, to be exponential. Not everybody has to come into this kind of relationship to feel fulfilled. There are so many people, I would venture to say most of society, this isn't the priority. These kinds of exponential, incredible relationships, that's not everyone's cup of tea. You don't get into one of these kind of relationships if you are not a specialist in these kinds of things. And so Divine Masculines are really understanding that they are cut from this cloth, and that they are someone that is on track for an incredible partnership to bring incredible beauty and love into the world, and that is one of the most important things on their hearts, and that they have been reserved for it, from it, in the face of it, because it matters that much to them. So Divine Masculines are really wishing to partner in a way that is a fulfilling and extraordinary partnership. Divine Masculines don't want an average, mediocre partnership. Yes, there are a lot of karmic relationships, potentially for both counterparts, but those are incredibly deep dives into the inner workings of dynamics and different lessons that have been shown. So it might look divine feminines, if you're an ego that your divine counterpart has too easily settled or chosen things, and this message might seem like hypocritical energy that they actually want the real thing, but it's because they've been such experimentalists and they've thrown themselves into it wholeheartedly that is the proof. You know, it's that Garden of Eden. They have to know for themselves. And so the divine masculines are coming to it. They are coming to the only you will do energy. They have glimpsed this in the past. I've seen so many readings. It comes in waves though. And until it anchors as a way of life, it's introduced in cycles. It's introduced in waves. What are the masculines doing? They are actively head on freeing themselves from their fears. This is the same card, Divine Feminines, that you got in the beginning of this reading. And so this is a new way of processing where they're not denying the things that they are feeling and thinking in real time. They're actually taking a look at it and considering if it's valid or not, if they need to subscribe to that perceived limitation. They are moving through the obstacles. We've seen it quite often where in the readings recently where energy's flowing along and then there's a brick wall, someone stops it. Divine masculines are no longer allowing their deal breaker thoughts to put the brakes on things. They are receiving the pain from doing that. Now they're seeing the potentials, they're working the solutions, and they're considering their accountability in more present terms. Way to go, divine masculines. What's the biggest challenge? OMG. Literally. OMG. Divine intervention clarified, but divine intervention. That's like one of the most crazy cards to clarify itself. Don't you know? This really says, all you foolish earth people, don't you know what's really going on? You're not in control of anything. Oh my goodness. So the biggest challenge for divine masculines is surrendering the control and being in trust and allowing the divine, the God self to live through them, to channel, to be in that flow, to completely realize that nothing you've done, divine feminine, has been, you know, intentionally a negative thing. It's you following divine guidance. Divine masculines have been doing that to much of the divine feminine's chagrin at many stages on the journey. Both are divinely guided, and that's why this thing is a perfected thing. That's why it's slow to come in. That's why it's protected. That's why it's so informative. That's why it's changing lives. That's why it's changing the planet, because we have two people entangled. Look at this. This is even the quantum resonance, the spooky action at a distance depicted here. It all works together. It's all divine plan. It's not within our control. It's a blessing that we are in alignment with it. But that's the biggest issue here, is really coming to terms with the fact that that's what's going on that level. What's that going to do, or what is that doing? That's the answer to the heartache. It's not either or one against the other. It's literally divine timing squared, exponential. None of the things that you think have happened against you have happened against you, twins. It's all been part of divine plan. Have eyes to see it that way. Seek to be shown that, and your hearts will be free from these lower dimensional suffering thoughts, and you will begin to truly heal. Again, that message of coming through the karmas and then becoming an expert in those things and bringing those messages to the world. I've had the vision recently so many times where this time on the planet we're going to look back and there's going to be a flowering of consciousness. So many wild cards, innovations, new modalities, new information channeled into the world. It's literally going to look like this wave of spiritual becoming in hindsight. But what is the solution for divine intervention squared by divine intervention? Making the cut, seeing through the illusion, cleaning up karma, just continuing to see that if union's not coming in, if the relationship isn't coming in, that there are other priorities, other things that still need to be illuminated, and don't resist it. Don't be so fixated on the attachment to the outcome that you don't see the blessed journey and the changes and the way of it on the road to union. It's all about clarity, truth, honesty, integrity, authenticity, compassion, and earning this victory by actually seeing the just cause for the celebration these unions are, by working through the karma, by on our hearts voting no for the things that are not life affirming and loving in our lives, by literally giving those lower vibrational things permission to not be there anymore, consciously allowing that, just by letting go of them one by one and saying, you know, sometimes we speak out with a lot of passion. They did this to me. They did that. Can you imagine? They did that. Catch yourself if you find yourself saying that, even silently, quietly in your own mind about someone. And just say, now that you can see it, you can say no to it. You can literally say, oh, that doesn't work for me. It doesn't feel right. What was I engaging in there? That's not compatible. When you're worth love, once you see these developmental stages of what no longer resonates, it's easy to just let go. It's a non-action. King of Swords in the reverse can just be a voted off the island motion. Oh wow, that's commitment. That's preparation for commitment by not committing to the things you don't want. If you're perpetuating cycles where you're getting the things, the results that you don't want, you're committed to those things by default. So just simply say they have no place any longer and thank them for having shown you themselves, and then come into alignment with not those things by saying that doesn't work for me, but not in a way that feels hard done by, in a way that says, thank goodness I see that, because that didn't feel good. And now that I see it, I can feel better now. I can seek to feel better and have more fun and be in more joy and feel more love. Isn't that the beautiful thing? Be receptive to more love when we no longer fixate on those things that don't work. That's commitment. Commitment to self, commitment to really appreciating the real thing. What is the direction of this connection? Well, it's not going anywhere. It's kind of stabilizing on a new level while each twin comes up with their idea of happiness, now that there is a new layer of what they don't want having been revealed. So a lot of the true heart's desires are emerging. We saw in yesterday's reading that the divine masculines are really starting to look at the fulfillment of family, children, animals, life, generational things. It's a blessing now. It's surreal in this dimension. There's a whole new priority, a new level of receptivity for the things that really matter coming in. This beautiful pulling back the reins and not necessarily, keeping up with the Joneses, but what would make my life luscious and full? And what energy or person or companion would really be compatible on that level? Not what the world thinks is compatibility, but, people who actually have the ability through having become masters to meet on that level. Divine masculines are starting to realize their divine feminine is the only choice They don't have that lower vibrational Jekyll and Hyde. They don't have a personality that takes no for an answer. They want win-wins. There is nothing that can't be solved in partnering with a divine feminine. There are no brick walls. There are no deal breakers. There are no limitations. And divine masculines are starting to see that's the kind of relationship that they are becoming ready for. Not the 3D construct, attachment. So divine masculines are getting ready to open their hearts, because